Hey dudes, so a lot of people complain about Bloodhound Step, and rightly so because it's basically an invincibility button in Elden Ring. It only has 3 frames of vulnerability at the end of the animation, which essentially means that there's no vulnerability to it. You cannot hit people that are spamming Bloodhound Step. But there are ways you can sort of counter it or deal with it, and nobody else has really made a video about this, so I'm here to teach you how to do that. So let's get right into it. Real quick, before we get into it, maybe like and subscribe if you like PvP stuff, because I make guide videos and invasion videos like this all the time. So if you're into that type of thing, maybe stick around. Or don't, it's up to you. And dislike if you dislike it. By the way, this is my lovely assistant, Professor Oak. He is a small-time YouTuber like myself, and he makes content that is just as good as mine. He does educational PvP content. So if you're into that, maybe go like and sub to him. I'll have him linked in the description. Okay, let's get into it. So, Bloodhound Step, the ultimate cancer. Why is it the ultimate cancer? Well, essentially, it's a lot like Quick Step from Dark Souls 3, which is a very long, very far dodge. It carries people very far away. So far, in fact, that if they're spamming Bloodhound Step, you can't even sprint to keep up with them. You have to use your own Bloodhound Step to chase them. It's very fast, okay? And it's impossible to hit somebody when they're using it, because there's basically no vulnerability frames in the animation. If they keep spamming Bloodhound Step, you are not going to hit them because, well, in reality, it only has 3 frames of vulnerability at the end. But in a game that's 60 FPS, that's basically no frames. Like, you're not going to hit somebody that's using Bloodhound Step. But, as I've said, we do have some ways to deal with it. There are no real hard counters for Bloodhound Step, but there are ways that you can get around it. So we're going to show you that right now. So, most of the ways to deal with Bloodhound Step rely on aggression. Usually, BHS users know that they're chasing you. They know that you can't hit them. So what they're going to do is dart in and out and try to hit you, exploiting the fact that they're really hard to hit. That's when you can take advantage of their stupidity. You can hit them or punish them when they come into you. When they, you can tell when they're going to attack when they dash towards you, and that's when you take advantage of them. Now, the first and most important way to deal with Bloodhound Step is what I call the Poise tank method. If you have enough poise and a weapon or weapons with good damage, you can simply tank their hit when they come out of the Bloodhound Step. Then you can hit them for more damage because you have poise. So they're not going to stagger you, you're going to get the hit, you're going to stagger them, and you're going to do more damage if you have a better weapon. Of course, this method relies on you having a better weapon and some poise, but it is pretty viable. It's pretty useful. It's probably the most effective way to deal with them. It's just to trade. Let's show them. Let's show them. Hit me with some Bloodhound Step shenanigans. Yeah, just like that. See, I win that trade by a long shot, even if I had only hit him once. So, by extension, this method works a lot better with bigger, more damaging attacks. For example, I have Carrion Grandeur here. This is one of the most damaging attacks in the game, and it has a little bit of poise to it. So if he comes in out of his BHS and tries to hit me while I'm charging that up, I could just let it go and one-shot him. Then he can't run away or slither away and heal. Same with something like Black Flame Tornado. Actually, Black Flame Tornado might be even better for this because it has a lingering hitbox. So even if he's using Bloodhound Step, if he slides into the tornado, he's going to get caught in it and fucking die, and it's going to be funny. But anyway, I will show you the Carrion Grandeur method. This works with any big attack that does a lot of damage. Yeah, that's not a good trade for him. So if you got a dumb BHS user that's dumb enough to try to attack you out of that, and you can exploit that hardcore. So the next way to deal with a BHS spammer is just to parry them when they attack you out of the BHS. Basically, as I've said, they'll get really cocky and aggressive and try to attack you. So if you get a parry, it's probably the best possible outcome for you. I'm going to show you that right now. Just like that. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, getting a parry on a BHS user is probably the best possible outcome for you. That's probably a lot better than the poise tanking method or any of the other methods I'm going to show you. And that's because you have the potential to one-shot them if you parry them successfully. And if you one-shot them, you can just shit on them right there and they can't slither away and heal. So it's probably the best way to take care of the problem, or to get rid of the cancer, cure the cancer. So yeah, use this method. It's the best method. The next way to counter Bloodhound Step isn't really a counter, but it's more like a method. See, most of my methods require the user being dumb or being aggressive and trying to attack you. This method is used when they aren't doing that. When, say, you have a host that's scared shitless of you, and a lot of them will be, they'll try to run away using Bloodhound Step because they think that you can't get them. In this scenario, the only way to deal with it is to have your own Bloodhound Step, because watch, I cannot catch him if I try to sprint. He's way too fast. He could get all the way to the boss fog, and I couldn't even touch him. But if you have your own Bloodhound Step on, say, a dagger that's unupgraded, see, I don't have this upgraded. It's just a dagger to have on me in case I need to use it to chase somebody using Bloodhound Step. The thing is, this is the only way to catch them, so it's justifiable to use Bloodhound Step only in this instance, when you're chasing someone else who's cheesing you with it. This will help you keep up with them, as this is obviously faster than sprinting. This is what you want right here if someone's running away from you with Bloodhound Step. It won't let you overtake them, but it will at least let you stay on them. That's the thing. That's the thing you want. Because invasions, it's very important for you to stay on the host. Because they can either run away and heal, summon more phantoms, or they can run to the boss fog. So, I'd say having Bloodhound Step on you for that reason, and that reason alone, is justifiable. Because you're fighting cancer with cancer, and that's what you should do. This next method is pretty varied. See, you can use anything with a lingering hitbox. And what a lingering hitbox is something like this. That flame strike right there, that is what they call a lingering hitbox, and it stays there for a few seconds to catch somebody in it. It's not just one little instant hitbox like the straight sword swing. This is there for a couple seconds to catch somebody, and more importantly, it combos into an R2. So there are a bunch of things like that in the game. For example, Black Flame Tornado has a very long lingering hitbox, so if they dash into the tornado, they're going to get stuck in it and take a lot of damage. There are other things like that. There are spells that have lingering hitboxes as well as Ashes of War. But the most important one and most easily accessible one is probably Flaming Strike, because if he dashes into me and I decide to do this, he's going to get stuck in it and comboed into the R2, as I will show you. Just like that. And he's not going to be able to escape it because that hitbox is active for the entire time. So if he even comes near me, he's going to get hit by it. Even if it only hits him in the last 3 frames of his Bloodhound Step, it's still going to get him. So yeah, you can use anything like that for this. Anything of that nature. I just think that Flaming Strike is the best one. I broke out the Pyromancer just to show you guys that this time. If you want to see more of the Pyromancer, check out my older videos. He's pretty cool. There you guys have it. I know it's not a lot, but it's honest work, okay? See, I've been invading for a decade now, and I've never come across something as bullshit as Bloodhound Step. Like, it's even worse than Tranquil Walk of Peace from Dark Souls 1. It is the worst thing that Michael Zaki has ever shit out in any of these games, and that is because it's basically an invincibility button. If you want to use one of these methods, it basically requires the BHS user to be a fucking idiot. And that is pretty common, so a lot of the time these methods will work. But if there's someone that really doesn't want to be touched by you, they're not going to be touched by you. Like, you have to run them out of their blue juice to even get them. That's why I told you maybe have some Bloodhound Step on you to chase them, because that can allow you to win the war of attrition against them. Hopefully. But yeah, otherwise, you gotta rely on aggression to deal with Bloodhound Step. That's the only way. This is why it needs to be nerfed. It's too strong. Plain and simple. This is the first thing that should be nerfed in the next patch, so we don't lose the entire player base. Yeah, like and subscribe to my videos if you're into this type of thing. I love you guys, and dislike if you dislike it. Oh yeah, by the way, go check out ProfessorOak, because he's really cool. If you like my stuff, you'll like his stuff. He's just starting out, but he's really good. I highly recommend him. 10 out of 10. I'll see you guys around. Good hunting.